What's up everyone, it's Scotty with Money Investing. In this video we are going to be talking about Eli Lilly, and they are going to be reporting earnings next week. So very important numbers coming out. Eli Lilly, we've actually traded this stock before really nicely, had a very nice reversal trade idea, ended up making I think 25, 30, 40%, and it's now almost trading at a new all-time high. So my goal, my purpose for this video is to break down exactly what the company does, intrinsic value calculation, fundamental analysis, balance sheet, margins, cash flows, everything, as well as the technical analysis as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and find it helpful. If you do, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're just joining us for the first time, and link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. The first week of the month is the best time to join, and you'll get access to everything, including the buy and sell alerts, options alerts, trade ideas. Everything's going to be included, as well as the intrinsic value spreadsheets as well. So link's going to be down below if you want to join our money investing community. So this right here is a very quick synopsis of what the company does. Obviously, it's a global pharmaceutical company that discovers, develops, manufactures, and markets human pharmaceutical products, animal health products, and nutritional products. And they are basically known for a range of therapeutic areas like diabetes, oncology, cardiovascular disease, neuroscience, immunology. Those are some of the areas that they focus on, and obviously developing all the pharmaceutical products, medicine, and technology, and of course R&D into research and development as well. This right here is going to be the earnings expectation. So August 8th is when they are expected to report numbers, and EPS on a normalized basis at $2 per share, with EPS gap estimate is going to be about $1.81, and revenue at $7.6 billion expected from the company as well. Very nice and consistent growth here. We're going to calculate the intrinsic value, and from a technical standpoint, this right here was around the time when we actually took the trade on Eli Lilly, because it was trading at the lower end, range of its higher highs and higher low pattern. So this right here, the entire uptrend. And obviously it ended up doing really well, pushed up close to over 18%, 20%. And of course, blew past that resistance, blew past that target, making a new all-time high and trading well over 449, close to $450 per share. So we're gonna figure out exactly what that fair value ends up being for Eli Lilly for us. But going back over to the consistency from the company, so they have been able to grow revenues from 23 billion to 28 billion. So it's not like a super high growth revenue business, but it is consistent, right? That's what's really important. I would take consistency over just a super high growth business model, because that is not sustainable, right? That is not going to be consistent over the long term. But companies like these, Eli Lilly, and of course more value-oriented companies, they don't grow as fast, but they are consistent with their growth rates. Gross profit here, 18.2 billion, growing to $22 billion, and operating income also, they've got that operating leverage kind of kicking in, and they've gone from 5.5 billion to 8.6 billion. So what you will notice is that the growth in operating income and even net income has been far higher, far greater than the growth in revenue. That's the operating leverage that's starting to kick in. That's the economies of scale that's kicking in for the company as the numbers grow. They've consistently bought back shares, so over 1 billion down to 903 million shares. Very strong numbers there. And of course, we do also have EBITDA growing from 7 billion to over 10.1, almost $10.2 billion here. So consistency and of course growth there as well. Margins here, 77% gross margins. We've got fantastic net margins and excellent return on capital, equity, and assets here from the company as well. And the balance sheet is perhaps the only thing that is a little bit of concern, because they've got $3.7 billion of cash with about $19 billion of debt. That brings them net debt at $14.6 billion for the company as well. So that's perhaps the only thing that might be a little bit concerning for Eli Lilly. And of course, we do have the valuation that is trading at a very expensive valuation as well. The time when we actually took the trade on it, it was a swing trade to begin with, but it was obviously 48% cheaper than actually a little bit lower. So it was closer to 30% cheaper than where it's trading at the moment, right? So it has rallied quite a bit from a valuation perspective, considering that the numbers are so strong and the company, just the quality of that company is very good. But of course, the balance sheet is the only concern, and now the valuation is also a bit of a concern. I mean, price to sales, 13 to 14 times sales. That's really high. I mean, it's not a software company, right? It's a pharmaceutical, healthcare, biotech type company, and I don't think it deserves a 13 to 14 times sales multiple. That's really expensive. But of course, that's why we're doing this analysis, right? What is the right price? What is going to be that level, that intrinsic value, where we can indeed be buyers in the future? Now, this right here is going to be that earnings growth from $8.75 to over $31 over the course of the next several years. And if we plug in those numbers into our spreadsheet, we get a growth rate of 24%. That's going to be that CAGR for Eli Lilly. And of course, by 2032, expected EPS at $31. That's going to be a growth rate of 15%. So next 5 years, definitely much higher at 24%. Next 9 to 10 years at 15%. So we're going to go with the mid-ground 20% increase in earnings here for Eli Lilly. I'm going to go with 25 times price to earnings multiple. I think that's very reasonable, coming down from like 60s. And discount rate 12%. I don't think they pay out a dividend. Maybe 1% dividend. So maybe we can lower this number down to 11% here. 10% margin of safety, and we're going to go with share dilution of minus 2%. We get down to a fair value of closer to $321 per share. The market price obviously trading at $450 means it needs a 28.5% sell-off. Pretty much practically exactly where it was trading at the moment when we first originally started to look into this, at around that $320, $315 level is going to be that price point. So exactly the price where we took that swing trade on Eli Lilly is going to be that intrinsic value for this company as well. And this right here is obviously the sensitivity grid. So you can take a look at this. Different growth rates, different P multiples obviously lead to different fair values. So you can decide for yourself what type of growth rate and what type of multiple is appropriate for you. And then, of course, figure out, okay, what's my intrinsic value on Eli Lilly? But for me, I think low 300s would be very nice. This right here is the level that I'm really watching. Again, that's the same price that we took the swing trade on. And speaking a little bit more on the technical side, this right here is the overall higher high and higher low pattern, right? So if you come back, you'll notice that Eli Lilly has just been trading inside this range in that uptrend of higher highs and higher lows. We've got two trends within a bigger trend, right? So we've got obviously this right here, the overarching uptrend, but within that, we've also got, some levels that every time it gets up to, it gets rejected. Every time it gets down to, it gets bought up. So right now we are very much in that upper trend here, upper range, I would say. And if you do see a little bit of that rejection, which we are now starting to see because it's really consolidating sideways, I wouldn't be surprised if it does come down to its 21 EMA in the 420s, or even starts to break down below this level, and the next support really is going to be 375, right? So 350s, 375s, those are going to be that next support levels to watch. And of course, my fair value is going to be in the low 300s for Eli Lilly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think about Eli Lilly? Are you buying, selling, or holding? What are your thoughts? As always, if you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Link to our Discord, Patreon is going to be down below. And again, the first week of the month is the best time to join. As always, happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.